Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Timothy Brown, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Protecting the Vision. Oh, tonight is going to be extra special. Have a great guest speaker that's going to be joining me in a few minutes here. But I want to just get started and just introduce who we are as the National Optometric Foundation. We're a nonprofit organization, and our goal is always to be in support for the National Optometric Association, our parent company. We also support the students that are currently in optometry school, the National Optometric Student Association, and we try to support the community as through education and funding as that come forth there. We're so grateful for all of the great supporters and donors, people who allow us to do the great things that we do as far as being able to give scholarships out to students who are thinking about going to optometry school, those who are currently in optometry school. And sometimes we are able to give out scholarships to community leaders as well, as they're bringing forth programs and events for the community and educating them when it comes to eye health and their overall body health as well. We thank you guys, and we invite you to follow us on our website, nationaloptometricfoundation.com. You can see the link on the page later throughout the program here. And we also have a Facebook page, National Optometric Foundation, that we encourage you to go and like our Facebook page, and also on our YouTube channel. If you will subscribe to our YouTube channel, National Optometric Foundation, it's available. We have our webinars on our YouTube channel. We've been doing this for now for about 3 years so that you can get those webinars and share them with your family and friends so they too can have some of this great knowledge that our speakers continue to drop into this page month after month. We do this every third Monday at 7 p.m. You know, we're going to continue to do this as we educate the community. And if you would like to donate tonight, our Cash App is available, $ Protecting the Vision, so that you can give a donation there. The foundation tried to support the National Optometric Association by partnering with them when we have our annual NOA conventions. We're going to have one this year in Ohio, the great state of Ohio. And we're looking forward to seeing some of you there with us in Ohio. And we welcome optometrists, we welcome students, we welcome technicians. All of you join in with us. The day before convention, we usually would do Serve Where You Go, where we do free eye exams for the community. VSP partners with us, providing glasses and frames for patients on that same day. So most people will leave that day with glasses so that they are able to see better before returning back home. And we encourage you guys to go ahead and register for the NOA convention that's coming up in July. We're looking forward to seeing your face in the place, and we want to continue to support students who are in high school, those who are in college, thinking about going to optometry school, or they're already on that pathway of becoming an optometrist. We want to continue to give financial support to them, and those who are currently in optometry schools, supporting them as well. We're going to continue to be that financial arm for the NOA, and we want you guys to continue to tune in to these webinars. Our guest speakers are doing a dynamic job, and this guest speaker tonight, oh my goodness, she has an amazing profile, and I want her to tell you later on as we are into this webinar how you're able to follow her and get all of the goodness that she continues to pour into the community as far as educating them, sharing her brand and sharing her knowledge with the community, and feeding so much positivity on your news feed there as well. So I encourage you to get her information and follow her. We're going to have Dr. Kristie Nguyen with us. She is a graduate of Nova Southeastern University College of Optometry. She got her Doctor of Optometry degree that was earned. She is a proud member of the American Optometric Association, Florida Optometric Association, and Optometry Divas, and several other professional organizations. Dr. Nguyen stays at the forefront of the latest advancements in vision care. She is also passionate about educating the public on eye health through social media, where she combines eye care tips with humor, fashion, and positivity. And you guys know I'm loving that because I am Mr. Positivity on social media. So anytime someone is there trying to spread positivity, I am there to push them all the way. So thank you, Dr. Nguyen, for doing that. Outside of the office, she enjoys traveling the world, reading novels, watching K-dramas, and spending time with her husband, 2 teenagers, and 2 dogs by their dock, sitting on the dock of the bay. Dr. Nguyen, we want to welcome you in tonight on our webinar. We're so thrilled to have you as our guest speaker. And I just want to say thank you for doing a phenomenal job sharing on social media and just lifting all of those who continue to follow you on your social media pages. Welcome to the webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Bell, for making me sound way cooler than I am in person.
You are there, Doc. You are there. You're on the level that other people wish they could be on, that you are inspiring them to climb and reach higher. So thank you for setting the bar. You encourage me. You inspire me. You bring smiles to my face on many days there as I continue to see you do the things that just seems to come so natural to you on a daily basis there. So thank you so much for doing that in and out for your followers.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
If you're doing what you're passionate about and you have God behind you, I don't know where you can go wrong.
There you go. Wow, you just spoke the truth. Somebody put in the comment section, #truth. The truth was just spoken here already, and we are just a few minutes into this webinar. So thank you. I agree 100% there. You know, that passion drives you. And when you got God, you know, it's just going to continue to push you in the right direction, you know. And when you work in your gifts, it says your gifts will make room for you. So you hit the nail on the head right there. So I'm thankful that you share that information there. So tonight we're talking about personal branding and eye care, because we know you to be a thriving optometrist for many years, a successful entrepreneur, someone who would just take a room of negative people and turn them into a positive room. So let's talk a little bit about that. What inspired you to develop a personal brand as an optometrist and then moving over into your entrepreneur career?
So it was by the off chance. I was completely burnt out probably about 10 years ago. And I prayed about it, and God answered by redirecting me to a direct sales opportunity, which I had no business doing, because I wasn't even on social media to begin with. I am your introvert to the core. I watch people on social media, but I never comment, I never liked, none of that. Barely even post. But being in direct sales, you had to put yourself out there. I learned from the other leaders from this direct sale company, skincare of all things, you should know. And I learned what they taught. I implemented what they taught, because again, if you learn things but you don't implement it, you get nowhere. So the key here is you have to implement what you're learning. I put myself out there. I did things I would never imagine doing by growing my personal brand on social media. And by doing so, trying to talk about skincare, not the eye care industry, but for whatever reason, a lot of people in the eye care industry started to notice me. And lo and behold, once COVID hit, all of a sudden, everybody turned to social media.
Yes.
Who was already on there? Me. So a lot of people turned to me for help, and that's how things got started.
Isn't that amazing how you take a step along a different pathway and it opens so many doors for us, you know? Even the step that I've taken in the direct sales that I'm involved with as well, it has opened so many opportunities, connected me to so many people. I've grown personally, you know, so it's good for self-development as well when you take that pathway. But one thing that I noticed that you said, if you did not take that step, you would have never known. You had no clue what was behind that door, you know, so you took that step and it just opened up so many other opportunities for you. And I just want to encourage someone who may be listening, you know, to just know you got to take that step. I used to tell people, if you don't go, you don't know, you know, so you got to take that step in order for those other opportunities to open up for you, right?
And you got to be really wary what you ask God, because he never answers your question the way you want it to be answered. So just be careful what you're asking.
Right, right. So I used to pray, oh, bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. Okay. Okay. So when that territory start enlarging and, you know, I'm getting more work and I'm getting more services that's being requested of me, I was like, where is this coming from? And God was like, Isn't that what you prayed for?
I know, right?
Yes, yes. So you have to be careful what you ask for there. So I'm glad that you've been able to take that step and not allow fear. I always tell people that fear sometimes hold us back from doing some of the great things that we could be doing and sharing our gifts with the world. So you didn't let fear hold you back there. How do you define your personal brand in there as far as when it comes to our profession, optometry, healthcare professionals there? Because some of them may be tuned in and they need some tips from you to help them with it when it comes to optometry as well, or any healthcare profession.
Well, it depends on how you want to mix the two. So for myself, I want to build my personal brand first, and from there I can branch out into incorporating my professional brand into it. So it depends on if you want to just concentrate on your professional branding or your personal branding. But I think it's a lot easier to put yourself out there first, but not everyone's going to agree. But putting your personal self, I like to stick with 3 things that I am good at or I want people to know about me. So I like to travel, I like fashion, I like to be positive. So I try to incorporate that in each single one of my posts if I'm able to. And then I tie a little bit of optometry in there to make it more fun and so that people will be more intrigued about it. Otherwise, optometry can get a little bit boring. So unless you make it kind of spunky, people won't tune in to learn about what they can do to help their eyes be healthier. So it's important that they kind of figure out what they want to promote first. A lot of my colleagues, when I speak to them, don't want to do the personal part. They do want to stick to the professional part, which I say, well, if you want to do a professional branding, it's very simple. Share what your office does, what products or what services that you have that your colleagues may not offer. Talk about your staff, talk about some of the different things that you're able to do and for the community, and just repeat that over and over. And that will also draw in clientele to your specific office.
Right, you're right. Because here at Insight Family Eye Care, I'm still at the office. I haven't left yet. But our specialty concentration is in pediatric eye care. And when your eyes are not working together as a team, vision therapy is the next thing that Dr. Sharita Brown will do as well on the other side of the office. And the word has gotten out that, hey, you can take your child there and they'll take good care of them. They see children, and the people have been pouring in, so I agree with you. When you get that out there, your specialty and what you're passionate about, and get out into the public, it leads you into that pathway of growth, and so if you're watching this and you want to know what getting out there, building your personal brand can do for you, it can really take your business to another level there as well. And would you say, Dr. Nguyen, that social media, social media does a lot for us there. Has it played a role in helping to shape your personal brand?
Of course, most definitely. Again, because of my presence on social media, I was approached by a lot of different people within the optical industry, whether it be they are opticians or optometrists or people within the eye care industry seeking advice for personal branding or even just helping promote their product or services. So it's allowed me to further open the doors within the eye care community where I can actually put forth what I'm already passionate about and just using my channel to communicate what is out there.
Yes. And I saw a comment come across the screen, and it kind of it's driving me into something that I wanted to talk to you about too. But I want to take time because I always love it. If you're listening and you're there, you can put a comment down and we'll try to read your comment, answer your questions. I love when the audience is engaged here. So thank you for being engaged. So I'm going to take that question here from Jane. Comment. Jane was saying that you are so phenomenal about making your content so relatable. That drives me into talking about being authentic. Is it important to be authentic, or do you just make up stuff and just give the people what they want?
No, you have to be authentic because it's who you are. Otherwise, you're just saying a lie and trying to build upon that lie when you meet them in person. Because a lot of people I've met through social media, I've actually met offline at events at some of our conventions, and they see the same person online as I see in person.
Yes.
So, if there's a disconnect, I would lose a lot of audience, and you don't
Right.
want to lose audience. You want to make sure that you are who you are presenting online as you are in person. So I don't try to build a fake persona. You want to keep true to who you are, but
Right.
share what you're willing to share. Because again, I'm a pretty private person. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't like to share a lot of things about my personal family, my kids. I want to protect them. So there's a lot of things I can't share on social media because I don't want them to be exposed. So I share things about myself, things that are searchable on Google.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like I said, I am a pretty private person. I don't share as much as you think I'm sharing.
Okay. Hey, that's good. But hey, what you are sharing has helped so many people. You've helped inspire people. You help push people. Sometimes people come to you, or sometimes people probably come to your page, and their goals may be right here. And guess what? You take them to bigger goals.
Yeah.
So you help push people to achieving bigger goals and taking a second look at things that they say they want to do this year, or do before the end of the month. And that's what's needed. More people like you are needed who can help drive people to the next level and do it in such a smooth way and positive way as well. I think that's very important there. And I agree with you 100%. Be yourself. When you see Tim Brown on social media, that's the Tim Brown that you get when you see him at optometry, or you see him at the Avon convention, or you see him at church. Same guy, because I do a little mixture. I have a professional side. I have a fun side. I have a caring side and a helpful side, and people get a little bit of all of that,
we're still human at the end of the day. We are not a doctor 24 hours a day. Right. I'm still just Kristie outside the office. So I want to understand that is something that they are okay to admit to. But a lot of times they can't separate the two. And I'm like, but you are you are Kristie before you are a doctor.
Exactly.
So you have to be comfortable with that knowledge first.
Right. And so I'm hearing you telling people who may be here for tips. It's important to mix it, to know how to step in and out of your role, your career, when you are outside of the workplace there, Don't forget who you are. Always keep that hat over here, but don't forget to also turn the other hat, over so that people can see who you are as a human being, who you are, a name without titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's how you get burnt out. I mean, I put up a very nonverbal video with just music playing in the background. But one of the things I had mentioned in the caption was how I had went through burnouts. And then one of our colleagues reached out to me on Facebook Messenger afterwards and said, hey, Kristie, I'm also going through burnout right now. Are there any tips? I was like, oh my gosh, I can't just type anything. I said, hey, I typed back and said, hey girl, do you have time for a chat? Because I can't text this on a text message. What I need to tell you, we need to talk on the phone. So we hop on the phone, we talk for like an hour, and then I gave her some tips and I said, you know what, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to reach back to you in 2 weeks to see if you've changed anything that we talked about. And when 2 weeks came, I called her up and she said, you know what, I took some of your advice and I'm feeling much better. So sometimes it's just simple things like that. You don't know whose lives you're touching, whether it be on personal or professional or a combination. But for this one particular doctor, she was going through burnout because she felt like she couldn't balance her personal life and her work life. And so just me reaching out to her, I know I made a difference. And I'm sure she will admit that I made a difference, but it's something little like that.
Yes. Well, you are making a difference. And I'm glad that you share that story, because that's a personal story there. And Dr. Sandy dropped in to let you know that you are one of the best, so I just wanted to highlight that as well. So a lot of people are inspired by you, as I said earlier. And I think it's important for us to make sure, as we are out there branding ourselves, to do as you said.
Yes.
Be careful of your response and making sure that you are giving your, best response. You can do it offline. You don't have to actually do it right there. You can say, hey, you can make a comment to let them know, hey, I noticed your comment and I am going to send you, a message, behind the scenes there so they'll know. Because your time with that person may be 5 minutes, but it could be a huge impact on how they navigate for the rest of the week or the rest of the month or the rest of the year as well. So thank you for sharing that story so that those who are listening can get that tip of how they should respond to people who are following it.
I mean, that's what networking is about. It's not all just on social media. You use social media as a tool to connect to people who may be states away from you. I mean, that doctor, I've never met her before in my life. We're not even that close. I don't even think we've ever exchanged any messages on Facebook, but she felt safe enough to reach out to me and ask me that, that question. Wow. Even Dr. Sandy, we met on LinkedIn, I think we met on LinkedIn, and then we finally met in person, and we've met at least twice already, I think, and she's reached out a couple of times and we've talked. And I think it's important that we take our conversations offline, because that's where the real relationship bonding is going to occur. Whether you're doing any type of networking, whether it be personal or professional, it's always better to take things offline. On the phone, in person, it would be even better. But
even, the world of where we just text, sometimes that could be, some things could be misunderstood, when you're only texting. Sometimes you need to say, hey, you got 2 minutes, and actually give that person a call. So you make sure that the message is clear, especially when someone's reaching out to you for help or advice on a topic there. Take it offline and pick up the phone and give that person a call so that you can best help them and the message is clear that you're going to deliver to them.
Yes.
I agree. So, sometimes professions and pathways, and our profession is optometry, it can be a little crowded and people don't know how to stand out in the crowd. They might say, I'm not as bubbly as you, Dr. Nguyen, and how can I do that? So some of our young professionals may be wondering, how can I stand out in the crowd when it's so crowded?
Well, you just have to you have to decide what you want to share. And you have to be consistent about that. And you have to show up. So just because you're consistent, but you're not showing up, it doesn't matter, because people will be watching you. But if you fall off the grid, then, they're going to be like, oh, there goes whoever. What happened to her? It may be like a couple months. They're like, I haven't seen her post in a while. Right. So you have to stay consistent so that people can see you. You got to be visible in their eyes, no matter what you're trying to share. So you don't always have to share about your professional life. You can mix in a little bit of your personal life, because that is who you are. You are still you outside of work. So if you mix it in the both, like I said, there's lots of things that you can share about. So you just have to decide, is this relevant to what I am trying to portray? So sometimes there are things that I'm like, that would be great content, but is that my brand? That's not who I'm trying to portray. It doesn't go with anything I've shared before. I think that would just confuse my audience. So let's not do that. Yes, it's funny, but it's not for me. Right. So again, you got to be consistent with what you're trying to put out there, and just be, like I said, authentic and be true to yourself, and just, you'll shine in your own way. So you don't have to be super bubbly like I am, because when I get passionate about something, I talk very fast. I start, getting my fingers come up on the screen. But like I said, you do your thing, and if you're sharing it truly from the heart, it's going to come out across, and people will start to follow you for that content. Uh-oh, did I lose him? Does anybody have any questions until he gets back?
I'm here. I was just waiting for them to bring me back on again. Okay. Never fear. Tim Brown is here. I'm here until the end. So you hit another powerful word. Consistent is a very powerful word. If you want to see results, be consistent. And actually, in my industry, my team name is Team Consistency. And I always tell them, if you consistently do something, you'll see the results from that, whether it's something you're doing good or something you're doing bad. So if you want to reap good, you consistently do good. You got to do the input for the output. So powerful words, positivity and consistency. So thank you so much for highlighting those two terms there, because that's what's going to help drive your business. That's what's going to help drive the connections and the networking that we do within our industries, social media, or at conferences. You just got to be consistently putting yourself out there so people can know who's Tim Brown or who's Dr. Nguyen? You know, when people come to you, they want to know what is the content that I can always depend on from Tim Brown, Mr. Positivity. What's the content that I can always depend on from Dr. Nguyen? Well, will be eye care, or we're talking about skin care. Those are the things that you need to focus on. So our young professionals who are listening, you wanted some insights on building your personal brand. Our young entrepreneurs that's out there trying to have a little side hustle, or maybe it's going to be your main thing that you're going to be doing. We want you to know it's important as your personal brand to be consistent, to put information out there that's going to be positive, put information out there that's going to help lift people, and put information out there that's going to be true to you. I want to thank Dr. Nguyen for sharing those tips with us as we continue to talk about personal branding and eye care. So if you came here tonight for eye care, please hold on to your seats. We're going to get there. I mean, it's important because sometimes as an optometrist, we need to also know about personal branding so that we can bring patients into our door. So this is helping some of our optometrists. But if you're here as a patient, you're here trying to get some tips on eye care, I promise you we're going to bring it. Don't worry, we're going to get there. I just want Dr. Nguyen to share the doors that have opened for you because of your building of your personal brand. Have doors and partnerships open for you?
Of course, so many over the years. I've appeared on so many different podcasts. I can't even name them all. Some of them are within the eye care industry. Some of them are completely outside the eye care industry. I've worked with some big name brands of lenses. I recently was part of the Transitions Influencer Program. I don't know. There's so many. I work with 2 different eyewear brands at this time, modeling their eyewear. So it's just so many different things that I'm part of that is just incredible because I get to share these with my colleagues and say, hey, this is something new in our industry that can help make your office be more efficient so that you can worry about just seeing patients and not about all the other, not fun stuff that's involved in eye care. So when people are looking for things, they know that if they reach out to me, they probably can get an answer. If I don't have it directly, I can probably find somebody who knows the answer to their question.
Wow. Yeah, you just dropped another nugget. She's a resource of help, a resource of help. And that's why it's important to build that connection so that we have that network that's going on. You reach out. I may not have it, but I know someone else who can help you. Great point that you just made right there as well. And I keep talking about those opportunities and partnerships that's open, but I also know that you pour in. Before I talk about this, I'm about to talk about how you pour into your community. But don't forget, Dr. Nguyen is also a mother to teenagers.
Yes.
Me too. Teenagers, another full-time job, and being able to balance, work, family time, lifetime. You make it look so easy. Any tips that you have for someone who's trying to find that sweet spot? They're trying to balance work, life.
You take it one day at a time. I have a calendar on my phone. If it's not on my appointment book, then it's not important for me. So I prioritize what needs to be done today and what doesn't need to be done today. So if it's not on my calendar, then it doesn't need to be done today. I can take my time and do it at another time. So my self-care is also very important. I had to learn the hard way after my burnout that I also come first, not my family, as bad as it sounds. But if I don't come first, I have no energy left to pour into my husband, to my 2 kids, my dogs, working, running all these side businesses that I do half the majority of the time. That's where I crumbled. Literally before I did my direct sales, my fire was literally almost put out. That's how bad it was. I mean, I was just running on empty fuel. Once my passion was reignited, I'm running at like 100 miles an hour forward. Even though I have all these new things I'm doing, I'm volunteering at both of my kids' schools. One's graduating middle school, the other one's in high school. So I'm literally volunteering between the 2 schools on top of everything else. So just imagine it's super busy, but again, you take it one day at a time.
Step by step, one day at a time. As we're going through the day, I said we're saving one eyeball at a time. We'll do the right eye, then we'll go to the left eye. You just got to do it. You got to do step by step because when you're trying to grab too big and you're trying to grab too much, it can cause a burnout.
Yes.
And it can cause depression. And we don't want that. We want you to thrive. We don't want you to just survive. We want you to thrive as well in life there. So you have to just, I tell the people in direct sales, take these big numbers that you're trying to reach and break it down into smaller numbers. Same thing with your tasks. Take those tasks and just put them on your calendar. And as much as you think you can handle for that day, put it on there. And it's okay to say no to the other things that come up later on that day.
And that's why I read a lot and I watch a lot of TV. That's my downtime. That's my time to just take care of myself. Or even when I just do my skincare in the morning of the day or at the end of the night, that's my little alone time. And my family kind of leave me alone during that time. And it's just me. And it's my winding down. So that way I'm not worrying about the dishes, the laundry, the vacuuming. I did that already. Yes. So at night, that half an hour to an hour before bedtime, that's my me time where I just get lost in a good novel. So that's what I do.
Look at that. I told you, you inspire me. You inspire me. You just gave me what I need right there. So thank you, guys. Take that tip. And here I was feeling bad that it's the month of May, Mental Health Awareness Month. And we wouldn't probably talk about mental health, but we did, because the things that she's suggesting is crucial to your mental health. So you don't get that burnout, so you don't fall in the pit of depression. Make it time for you, your time before family time. That was powerful, Doc. I was surprised to hear you say that, but that's powerful. And as you said, as bad as it may sound, it's important.
It's very important.
I see mothers come into this office week after week, and I can tell that they put family before them. And I can tell because I'll lead a conversation and saying, how about you, Mom? When are we going to take care of you? And she's like shocked that somebody was even recognized that she should be putting herself, in line for eye care or just relaxation. Sometimes we have the kids here and I'm like, Mom, we got them. It's your time to relax. Okay. If you don't want to go home, we can take it slow. We can keep them here a little bit longer, just to give them, just to make them feel good and let them know this is your time. This is your moment. So I'm glad that you shared that. And I'm so glad that you're being transparent. Transparency help people see their self in your shoes, and how they should start navigating.
I used to be guilty of that. I had mom guilt bad, like so bad. I would put everybody first. I'll always be the last one to go to sleep because I had to make sure everything was in order. And like I said, I was running on low fumes, and it got to the point where I was just like, Argh.
Wow. Thank goodness that you were able to face that challenge that you were going through, and that you found a better way to navigate and balance out things for yourself personally, your family, your work, your career, and all the other people who reach out to you for help as well there too. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for those of you who are here for eye care, this is the moment. We're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about eye health, and sometimes we talk about eye health and people will comment or they'll send me messages later on and say, thank you so much for discussing this because I needed the insights and things of that sort. And I would say, like I've said on other webinars, if you're going into an office as a patient, make sure that you're having a good communication line between you and your healthcare provider, your doctor, your optometrist that you're going to. It's important that you go asking questions if you have concerns when it comes to your health, and that you're receiving some of the answers back for those questions as well. And if you're going in as a caregiver for your mom or your grandmother, write those questions down, ask them before you leave home, because sometimes when you guys get into the office, all of your questions just disappear. They say, hey, you got any questions for me? No. And then as soon as you get out to the optical, you got 10 questions that you'll ask the staff when you need to ask the doctor when you're inside there. So we just want to shift gears and talk a little bit about eye health. And as part of the NOA, the NOF, we always talk about silent killers of your vision. And diabetes has been at the top for one of the topics that we've been talking about even from January on through: glaucoma, diabetes, and hypertension, hypertensive retinopathy. So diabetes is what I wanted to bring up because a lot of people are facing this. We've had patients in today who had diabetes, and we have to talk with them about, their eye health as well. So can you just talk to our audience a little bit about that, Dr. Nguyen, since you are a great optometrist for over 19 years?
20, it's
20 years. Let's celebrate.
All right. Well, so I actually had a patient who was in today as he was 2-year diabetics. His last A1C was 11. That was only 3 weeks ago. So his doctor decided to put him on insulin. And then he started to notice that his vision was getting kind of wonky. His glasses no longer clear. He couldn't see far. He couldn't see near. So I'm looking at his prescription. I'm going, yeah, that's a pretty big difference in the change. And I was like, so how long have you been on this insulin? He said, yeah, just 3 weeks ago. I said, oh, okay, that's the problem right there. Because it takes 3 full months for your sugar to stabilize. Within that time, your vision can fluctuate. So just know that if your doctor started you on a new medication for your sugar, or if the dosage is tweaked, it takes 3 months for that vision to stabilize again. So most optical do not have a 9-day window for you to get your lenses back in for a remake. Most of them is like 30 days, maybe even 60 days. So you have to make sure you're aware of that, because if you go in right away after you notice that change after taking that new medication, then you may have to pay a doctor's fee as well as a remake fee on those lenses. Yes. So just understand that it does take your body some time for that to regulate your sugar again and bring it back down to normal. But diabetes is super important because it could cause a lot of different things that people are not aware of. Not every patient's going to get that visual change. Sometimes they can get bleeding on the color part of their eyes. They can get cataract formation. They can get bleeding in the back of their eyes. So again, some of those create no symptoms whatsoever. So unless you're going in for your eye checkup, we can't see this. A lot of times I actually diagnose a patient with diabetes before their primary even see them with diabetes, because we're seeing the changes in the back of the eyes.
Yes. And those changes, as she said, can happen without any symptoms. And that's why it's important for you to go get checked. And I always say on the webinars, don't delay, do it today. And so I want to encourage someone who's listening. If you haven't had your eye exam, you've been putting it off, procrastinating, either for yourself or your husband. I always applaud the ladies for getting your husband into the office, getting their appointment scheduled, pushing them, coming with them to the office there, because they too sometimes don't have questions when they come into the office, but I know they should. But getting their eyes checked, it's very important that you schedule that with your optometrist, your local optometrist. Get that done. Get that off your list. Don't go into the month of October saying, oh, I'm gonna get it done. We want you to do it this month.
Because a lot of the issue can be reversed if we can get that sugar back under better control. But unless we see the changes, it's hard for you to understand the severity of you losing your eyesight. So it's important that you come in, you got to elect to have your eyes dilated, elect to have the retinal imaging, because the retinal imaging is super important because it is an objective way to show you how your eyes are doing. When you decline this in the exam, you are doing yourself a disservice. So retinal imaging doesn't matter if you have or don't have it, but it's a great screening tool for us to show you how your eyes are doing right now without you taking our word for it. Because there are sometimes little details that we can't miss without that retinal imaging done. So yes, a dilated eye exam is important. It will also, work together with the retinal imaging so that your doctor has all the tools necessary to give you the most thorough eye exam and evaluation as possible. So don't decline these tests when you're in there.
Right.
For the extra $25, $39, whatever it is, just pay for it. And like I said, it's like getting an x-ray done for your eyes.
Right. And we encourage you to have the dialogue, to have the testing done, to get your eyes dilated if it's needed. Your doctor say you need to do that, because in the long run, it'll help save your vision. That's what we're trying to do. Protect the vision, preserve your vision, making sure you don't lose sight. Because personally, someone in my childhood life who used to help direct us, I would say in the choir at church, she lost her sight completely, all because of diabetes. The blood glucose levels too high, causing bleeding in the back of the eye. It wasn't treated, it wasn't managed in time, and she lost her vision. And then that leaves someone there to be your caregiver, someone driving you from place to place, making sure that you're not getting mistreated, when it comes to finances and things of that sort there, because you now have to have another set of eyes, helping you out with that. And that's what my mom had to do for someone who was a active person during my childhood. And that's why I talk about diabetes, as much as we can on webinars and in the office with patients there, because I've seen it personally happen to someone who is near and dear to me, and we don't want that to happen to you. So as Dr. Nguyen has shared with you, we want to know what your blood glucose readings are when you go see your primary care doctor. We want to know what your A1C, which tells us how you're tracking over the course of 3 months. So those numbers are what you should take in with you. Patients, you're listening to us tonight. Those numbers are what you should take in with you when you go see your optometrist there, okay? We want to make sure that you guys know we want you to keep your vision. We don't want you to lose your vision. And you can find out information about what we're talking about as well on our website, nationaloptometricfoundation.com. We have it there. Follow us on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel so that you can see previous webinars where we take a deeper dive into the topic of just diabetes. We have months coming up where it's Diabetic Awareness Month. What's the month of November? So we'll have a webinar that's going to concentrate more on diabetes, and we share photos and images with you so that you can have a better understanding. But don't wait till November. If you're a diabetic and you're watching this, please make sure you get your eye exam scheduled in 2025 with your optometrist. Make sure you're checking in with your primary care doctor. Yes.
Yeah, make sure you bring in your medication list, because that's important for us to know what you're on. Because a lot of time patients don't realize that, they're taking a blood pressure medication, but they don't list that as something they have, because they're like, oh, I don't have high blood pressure, but they're taking their high blood pressure medication, which is why they don't have the high blood pressure. You still have high blood pressure. It's just lower because you're taking the medication.
Exactly.
You bring your list of medication in. And that's why it's important, because some patients ask me, you're just an eye doctor. Why do you need to know my list of medication? Well, sir, your list of medication is going to tell me if there's any complication from that medication with your eyes. On top of that, sometimes there are supplements that you can be taking that you think is healthy, but you're overdosing, and therefore we found other issues, blah, 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 on your eyes. So anything that you're taking, please make sure you have that list handy. Otherwise, I have patients coming in, oh, I'm taking 3 medications for my high blood pressure. Do you know what they are? Nope. What?
Yes. Yes. It's important to be prepared. You're helping us help you. We work hand in hand with your primary care doctor. One great point she made, you can't say you don't have high blood pressure. I told one person, if you don't check it, how do you know? Or are you waiting for that excruciating pain? Or are you waiting for a massive headache before you say, hey, let me just check, see if everything is okay? So you can't say you don't have it if you're not checking. Some people tell me, I don't have high blood pressure, but they haven't checked. So, or you're taking blood pressure medicine that's keeping your blood pressure down, and it's important. Blood pressure can cause you to lose your vision as well there. So that's why we're talking about this topic for you tonight, to make sure that you are not losing sight, that you're actually being proactive and staying in touch with your primary care doctor and your optometrist to make sure that they are aware of your condition and that they're checking for it as well.
Because most of us do send a progress note out to your primary care or your endocrinologist, so that we're working hand in hand and making sure that your eyes are well taken care of and your blood sugar is well taken care of, so that everything is in equilibrium. So
that's right. And a lot of people don't realize your optometrists, they're the gatekeepers to the healthcare center, to the healthcare system. Sometimes your optometrist will see things that will alert them to reach out to your primary care doctor and say, hey, can you do some blood work, on this patient here? I am suspecting this. And sure enough, a patient's life is saved because of that communication that they have with their primary care doctor.
So the way I like to explain things is, as optometrists, we're basically your family care doctor for eyes, not the body. So your regular PCP is your primary care for the body. So when we see something that is not healthy, we send them back to the body if it's related to the body, or we send you out to a specialist to an ophthalmologist who can help further, treat whatever that it is that you may have that if it's outside of our capability as an optometrist.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, there you go. That was a lot of information dropped for all of you who are here for the eye care. That was a lot of great information. I hope that you are soaking it in and that you're going to take action. It's one thing to listen; it's another thing to take action. So we want to make sure you take action on getting that eye exam scheduled with your optometrist and going in with your medications so that your optometrist will know what medication you're on and see how those medications may be interfering with your eye health as well. So more eye health, Doc. You know, there's a lot of misconceptions out there when it comes to eye health. I just want to see what tips, what action steps you recommend to people, maybe your top 2 or your top 3 when it comes to them maintaining long eye health.
All right. First thing is wear your sunglasses because it's a simple thing to do, but it protects so much. Not only are you protecting the skin around your eyes from skin cancer, you're protecting your white of your eyes from gueculas, pterygiums, you're protecting your lens from cataracts, you're protecting your macula all the way in the back from macular degeneration, as well as solar retinopathy. So one simple thing can do so much in terms of eye protection. Second thing is making sure you take care of your body because, again, your body is a whole organization. So if it is out of whack, guess where it shows up? In the eyes. And that's why it's important that everything is in sync, that you're taking care of everything. So exercising, eating right, just make sure you're doing that, and then your eyes will be healthy as well. Let me see if I had to do a third thing, because we're all on our electronics. Make sure you take breaks. We do something called the 20-20-20 rule. For every 20 minutes screen time, take a 20-second break to look at something at 20 feet or away from your screen monitor. That will help your eyes refocus, blink, refresh your tear film, and so your muscle doesn't spasm. So those are my 3 tips.
Wow. I know if someone's listening to this webinar, you're inspired. If you feel like you can't go back to school to be an optometrist, push your child to go to school to become an optometrist right there. Look at the great work that they're going to do, helping to save lives, helping to save eyesight as well. They're preserving health, working hand in hand with patients, but they also got time to be an entrepreneur and build their personal brand as well. So optometrists, you know, the beauty of the profession is that they can work in different ways. You know, you can specialize in one thing, you can specialize in 2 things, or you can do overall optometry there, but you can have a specialty as well. So, and then also outside of optometry, you can have another career, a side hustle, and you still got time to do all these extra things that Dr. Nguyen has shared that she's able to do and enjoy family time as well. So you just got to balance these things out. You got to work it on a calendar. It's one of the advice that she gave that I think is just excellent advice, because I tell people, if you didn't see me put it in my calendar, I'm not going to remember it.
Right.
It won't get done. My calendar helped keep me organized. It helped free my mind. My mental health is important, so it helps free my mind from thinking about it. I can just go on my calendar and see where I need to be and what I need to do. So thank you for also confirming that you too follow your calendar to get you keep you organized throughout the day as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got Jane saying that she appreciates all the great information that you've been sharing. I want you to continue to tell us about any type of expert. You know, you're the expert in the eye care business here. How has that helped influence you and help you build when it comes to your market there?
Well, I mean, by sharing what I know, simple things that I talk about in the chair almost every single day to my patients, I share things like that to my bigger audience on social media, and that builds my authenticity and over time. So again, you have to be consistent of what you're putting out there. I try to share maybe 1 or 2 things about eye care. I just don't want to do it all the time because, again, it's not a super fun topic for most people. It's fun for me, but not for a lot of people. So I try to put a fun spin to it to make people think outside the box why eye care is important and eye health is important. Because simple things like, you know, just because you see 20/20 doesn't mean your eyes are doing great. Hello, there's silent killers out there. So unless you come in and get your eyes checked, we're not going to maybe see some of these things that could be prevented in terms of long-term care or, you know, when it could be worse. So if you come in early enough for us to screen you, we can definitely take care of a lot of things, especially even in young children, like you work with kids. So I just came back from my 8th graders field trip to Tennessee. And, some of the things I was talking to the teacher during the drive was that, kids don't know how they're supposed to see until you show them how they're supposed to see.
Exactly.
A lot of kids who are dyslexic are not dyslexic. It's because they're farsighted or they have some accommodative issues that are not allowing the eyes to work together as a team. So then they're not doing as well as they progress to the upper grade levels when the text becomes smaller. So it is our goal to go in as parents, as grandparents, as teachers, as whatever. If you have young kids, bring them in too, but also bring yourself in to get screened.
That's right.
You can see all kinds of things in your eyes. Your eye is the window to your soul, literally. Let us do our job by helping you maintain that healthy eye so you can keep it forever.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that you just said there too, kids don't know how they're supposed to see until we tell them, we show them, how they're supposed to see. They think blurry is normal, for them, and eventually it'll get better. They don't know. So that's why you need to get them seen. We see children age 6 months on up. So a lot of optometrists around the area will send children here because they don't see them until they're about 12, and as well there too. But one of the things also is that a lot of times children, Dr. Brown said this today with the patient, they get labeled ADHD. And sometimes it's just because there's a vision issue that's not corrected. It's not noticed, it's not detected. And once you get that taken care of, the child is on another level.
Absolutely. That was like in 4th grade. I couldn't see until I got my pair of glasses, straight A's since then,
True story. Another truth. Somebody put truth, hashtag truth in the comment section right there. So, you wouldn't know until, you went in and you got glasses. Like, we watched a baby. The grandmother said, how do we know if the glasses are helping her? I said, let's put them on her. And we put the glasses on the baby, and the baby walked towards the window and was like fascinated that she could see the cars moving outside and everything. Fascinating. The grandmother was speechless, so we have to show them the difference, in that blurry view versus a clear view.
Yes. Because I have like 7.5 years working with special needs children when I work for the Florida Health Department. And I have these parents who come in with their cerebral palsy patient, child, and who's nonverbal. And they're like, my child just takes off the glasses and throw it across the room. And then I found a different prescription from what, the previous doctor had found. I say, it's a pretty big change, but let's see how your child does. And when I see the parent back the next year, they're like, you know what? Ever since you gave that new prescription, my child doesn't take off their glasses at all. They're more responsive. I was like, yeah, kids are smart. They can't tell you what to see, but they show you. So be observant. Do they keep their glasses on or do they toss it? For the most of the case, if they don't keep it on, it's because it's not helping them see better.
Right.
So in those cases, you may want to seek a second opinion to somebody who's more comfortable seeing children like yourself.
Right. And thank goodness that you guys can get a second opinion, so don't be afraid to get a second opinion. You get someone who cares about taking that moment to slow down, to listen, and then to respond. That's important there. So make sure you're connected to an eye doctor that's going to do those things for you because it affects your
just the experience and the expertise to do it, because not every doctor is comfortable seeing children or even somebody with that disability. So you want to make sure that you do have somebody to reach out to, or even just start asking in the community who they know, and then you'll find somebody who is more comfortable seeing kids.
That's right. Everybody has their specialty and their level of comfort, and some optometrists may not, feel comfortable working with children, and they may refer you out to someone else, and that's okay. As long as you're getting the help and your child is getting the help that they need, that's okay. We want that to happen. We do not want any child left behind when it comes to education in the education system. We need them to get all that they can get. We need them to go out there in the workforce to be strong, to be educated, and to lead better lives there because of that. So make sure that you're working with someone.
I want to hop back. I had a patient today who is 50 years old, came in for his first eye exam.
First eye exam.
Wow. Like, sir, I'm glad you're in here, but what's going on? Why it took so long? He's like, well, never really needed glasses. I found my first pair of cheaters over the counter, kind of make do, but I feel like I may need something more exact. And so, yeah, he needed something more exact. All right.
I love that. I tell them we love doing first eye exams. It's better late than never.
Exactly.
And I kid you not, we were at a dinner last night with some friends, and someone said, "Oh," because I had my shirt on, National Optometric Association. They said, "Oh, so you guys do optometry? You're in eye care?" And we started talking, and he said, "I need to schedule an appointment, but don't laugh at me. It's my first one, So
How old is he?
it happens. It happens. It
How old
happens.
is he?
Say what? So he was in his he was in his late 40s. Late
Okay.
40s. Yep. Late 40s. First time, but I told him it's okay. We'll get you in. Just don't let it be your last time, So that's okay. So you make an impact, Doc. You keep inspiring people. You pour it into your community every day, every week. I want to encourage you to keep sharing the positivity as we continue to navigate through this pathway called life. And as we're closing this webinar, and you did such an excellent job, you dropped a lot of golden nuggets there for our listening audience, and I appreciate you for doing that. Someone may want to follow you. They may want to know more about you. They may want to come see you. Whatever you're comfortable sharing with the audience there so that they can connect with you, you can do so. And if you want to leave any last words of advice, wisdom, you can do that as well.
Oh, last word of wisdom. Let's see. Make sure you go in and get your eyes checked if you haven't done already. We are out there, lots of different optometrists, and find the right one for you. If you want to somebody and you don't feel like you got the experience that you want, seek a second opinion. It's okay. I see at least 3 a week from a second opinion perspective, and that's okay. So just find the right person for you, because we're all human at the end of the day. Some people have better communication skills than others. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Then on top of that, let me see, you can keep in touch with me through my Instagram channel. It's going to be just dr.kristie Nguyen. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. That's where most of my things that I share is on LinkedIn. You can follow me. If you want to schedule an eye exam, go to my website, drkristienguyen.com. Just no dots, just drkristienguyen.com, and you can schedule an appointment there. But love to see you.
And if you follow her on social media, I promise you it'll be one of the better things that you can do for your life. For inspiration, this young lady is helping to not only help people achieve their goals and see their dreams come true, but she's encouraging them to reach higher, bigger goals, in life there. And that's what we need to do. We need someone, we need to surround ourselves with positive people first.
Yes.
And we need to surround ourselves with people who are going to lift us and not bring us down. So thank you, Dr. Kristie Nguyen, for doing your part in life and lifting people and taking them to another level. I appreciate you for being on the webinar. Hopefully in 2026 or 2027, we might have you back again on a different topic, but thank you so much for sharing this wisdom tonight. And I hope that the rest of your evening is wonderful.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Brown, for having me. So I just came off of a parent-teacher meeting before this. I'm about to go cook dinner after this. So that's how you manage your time. You fit things where you can fit things. So let me go do all that. So it was great to see everyone. Like I said, I hope to see you guys on social media.
All right. I salute you, Doc. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there you go, folks. Dr. Kristie Nguyen did a phenomenal job dropping some golden nuggets on personal branding and eye care. And did she show her some love in the comment section. If you're watching this right now or you're catching it later, show her some love in the comment section there, guys. Thank you so much for your participation and for being here on another episode of Protecting the Vision. My name is Dr. Timothy Brown. I am the Director of Education for the National Optometric Foundation. Our foundation has a website where you can learn more about us and what we do, see some of the board members as well, nationaloptometricfoundation.com. We are on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you got our YouTube channel. We ask you to subscribe so that you get notification when we're going to do our next webinar. And we're also on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, National Optometric Foundation, and we have a Cash App, folks. If you want to just drop $5, $10 into the Cash App, it will allow us to continue to do the great things that we do as we're supporting as the financial arm to the National Optometric Association, supported the National Optometric Student Association, giving scholarships to students who are currently in school, thinking about going to optometry school, and also supporting the community leaders as they continue to lead in their communities and providing resources for the people in their community. We're so thankful for our partners like VSP for partnering with us to do eyeglass donations and the lenses for patients as we do free eye exams each year with the National Optometric Convention. We'll be in Ohio. We hope to see your face in the place. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next month in the month of June with another great speaker. This is Tim Brown. I'm signing off. National Optometric Foundation, protecting the vision. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day.